welcome to my stream. Welcome. My name is Sal, and tonight we are playing The Life and Suffering of Sir Brante, which, honestly, I don't know that there's really been that much suffering involved yet. I think that might be a little bit extreme. I mean, like, things haven't been perfect, but suffering is a bit much. Okay. I suppose let's go, or at least I should click into the game so I can hear the music. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna drink some water before we get started. Music seems very quiet, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's continue. See how much we can get through. It said we're nearing the end of this peacetime section, but we really aren't. We're like halfway through. We have so much left. We've been at this like for like two streams maybe for peacetime, so we have like 2 more streams left probably of just peacetime. Probably. I don't really know. Okay, the search for evidence. Right. We are going to convict this guy. I forgot. I was like, what are we doing in this game again? I remember now. When I was trying to figure out title for today, I was like, I don't really know. But yes, this is what we're doing. This guy is going down. Dorius Auden. Yeah. Right. We're gonna convict him. He's gonna be found guilty of killing our friend. Okay, the search for evidence. You're walking up the marble stairs that lead to the doors of the prefecture. The sword of the younger twin carved from stone looms above the doors, just as the case of Dorian Auden looms over you. Oh, the younger twin is the one who represents the legal stuff. I think. I'm assuming. So nobles of the mantle are probably governed by like one twin, and nobles of the sword by another. Maybe. Preparing this case will take many long months or even years. The words of Prefect Elborn are evidence enough of that. And time and again, you will ask yourself, are you ready to see this case through to the end? Absolutely! Father meets you at the stairs, and judging by the dour look about him, news of your most recent case has already reached him. Son, I didn't want to discuss this back home. Elborn is our friend, and I stand by him at all times, but he's dragged you into something that is far too dangerous. No, actually my best friend dragged me into it. I'm not going to repeat your grandfather's mistakes, so I won't tell my son how to live his life or what to do. But I ask that you please consider our family. Would it be worth it to let us come to harm, even if the triumph of justice and law is at stake? Ooh, he's got a lot to say. There are already rumors at the prefecture. They say you're getting ready to summon a highborn army into court. Soon these rumors will spread beyond the prefecture walls. You and I are both Brants. Perhaps we ought to stay away from something so dangerous. Some battles are far too ugly for us to win. You can always slow down the process and bide your time with routine paperwork. Avoid attracting unwanted attention. This way your career and our family honor would not be at risk. Trust me in this, son. Rather than making a selfless sacrifice, we can achieve far more through tireless service for the good of the law. You promise Father you will consider his words. You say goodbye and return to your office. You are at a crossroads. If you are to make any headway in the case against Auden, you have to start now while the trail of his misdeeds is still fresh. You have little first-hand knowledge of Auden's criminal wrongdoings. Except for the, actual duel we witnessed with our eyes. But yeah, beyond that, I guess. Only Thomas's stories and what you have seen for yourself. Yeah, exactly. You have little first-hand knowledge. Only what you've seen for yourself. How is that? What? Do you hear yourself, book? Turning this case into a trial requires far more evidence than that. Your friend could be the key to the entire case. If he can help you find the other men who have suffered under the remorseless Archnean, but Thomas is a haunted man. He has every reason to lay low and steer clear of the courthouse. If Thomas can put you in touch with other victims and witnesses among the soldiers and officers of the Legion, perhaps you could gather evidence yourself. But the Legion may meet a lone outsider, such as you, with too much resistance. Things might get ugly. You consider your options. Apart from Thomas, who else could help you gather compelling evidence against the commander? Auden is an Archnean from an ancient dynasty. Anyone involved will hold their tongue, no matter what. The way things are now, not a single soul will risk angering the Audens to aid a middling judge from an unknown family, unless an even more highborn Archnean chooses to support your cause. Gaius Tempus, the Imperial Overseer of Magra, the Emperor's own brother. Every aristocrat in the province knows he detests Dorius Auden for remaining loyal to Archduke Melanidas. Ensuring the Overseer's support would increase your authority greatly and give you a chance to gather evidence against Auden without Thomas lifting a finger. But the Imperial Overseer is one step above the Prefect, your immediate superior. You can only address Gaius Tempus directly if you keep it a secret from Alborn. Communicating directly with the Overseer of the province means defying your loyalty to Alborn. Are you willing to do this? Puzzled, you start pacing around your office. It's time to decide how you will begin this case. Depending on what you choose, the case against Auden could lead you to unprecedented success, or end your career, or even your very life. Oh, no. Thomas is not in hiding. Is he in hiding? Wait, but it says the condition not met is that Thomas is not in hiding, which means he is in hiding. Is he in hiding? We had him in our... He's not in hiding. He's, like, in custody. Last we left, he was in custody. I don't really think that's in hiding. We can go talk to him. I don't understand what's the problem. Okay, fine. And we can't ask... We need greater than 2. Or a reputation greater than 7. It is not. How are we supposed to get 2 with Gaius? But then we're betraying Alborn, and I don't want to betray him. Don't waste my time. Oh, we are absolutely... We're just... What? Oh no. We get a death if we search ourselves? Oh my goodness. We gotta do it. Gotta take a drink. We gotta do it. This is our second death. You decide to gather the evidence entirely on your own. You begin investigating the crimes committed by Auden without anyone else's support. You start with the Imperial Legion. After plenty of inquiries, demands, and threats, you finally get a list of Auden's other victims. List in hand, you go to the Armory of Anisote. There you meet the Legion officers who have already met a lesser death in a duel with the Archnean. All of them nobles of the Mantle, ennobled only recently, young and full of potential to serve the good of the Empire. They are all anxious to avoid getting challenged again. For many of them, another duel would be their last. None of them are eager to provide written statements about their duels. It would be improper for a soldier to bear witness against his commander, the latter's conduct notwithstanding. They finally agree to have their testimony committed to ink and paper only after you reassure them again and again that their statements will put an end to Auden's murderous rampage. Their stories paint a clear picture, you realize. There is a method to Auden's madness. All of the officers dissipate the commander at least once or express their disagreement, no matter how respectfully. Well, obviously he's dueling people who cross him. Duh. More and more officers are starting to realize that Auden's loyalty lies with Archduke Melanidas, and not his lawful superior, the Overseer, so more and more officers are getting challenged by Auden. Have Auden's duels gone beyond his passion for sword fighting? Were they just an excuse to eliminate any suspicion of his treason? Once all the officers' statements have been collected, you make your way back from the Legion barracks as the sun sets beyond the horizon. The night grows dark. You hear a sudden thundering of boots. Several bulky silhouettes emerge from the dark behind you. You quicken your pace, but the strangers break into a run. You turn around and draw your sword. Your pursuers encircle you as they draw theirs. You stand ready to defend your life. The strangers attack. Their faces are concealed, and their fighting style betrays their legion standing. You abandon any hope of launching a counterattack and focus on defense, somehow deflecting every single blow. Then you see an opening and dash towards the nearest home. Your back now safely pressed against a wall. The assassins get closer and form a half circle around you. You have nowhere to run now. You meet them with a flurry of desperate slashes, doing everything you can to keep them away, but your strength is already ebbing with every deflected blow. Then, finally, you are felled by a blade in the stomach. The assailants form a tight circle around you, blocking out the darkening sky. Then you hear a gruff, unfamiliar voice. "We've got a message for you, sir. Mind your own business." And that's sir, that's not our name, that's just sir in general. The soldier steps on your chest and stabs you in the throat with his sword. Oh, hi, what is it, Kaj? Hi, welcome. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Welcome, how are you? You choke on your own blood, shudder, and die. Death comes quickly, almost painlessly. See, we chose this death. We decided. Second death. I wonder if we're gonna get another vision. Last time we died, we had a vision. You doing good? That's good. I'm doing good too. A little tired, but I live out in LA and we had an earthquake last night at like 2:30 in the morning. You said right the first. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, we had like an earthquake last night, like 2:30 in the morning. It wasn't like that big one or anything, but didn't really want to go to sleep right away after that, you know? It's sometimes a little unnerving, especially when it's in the middle of the night. You feel kind of like vulnerable. So I didn't get a lot of sleep, so I'm a little tired, but otherwise I'm doing good. Okay, let's read about the death. we gotta see what strange visions we get or something. I don't know. I kind of ignored the visions we got after our first death, so. Impenetrable darkness surrounds you. You stand alone, bare to your very essence. It paralyzes you. You have an urge to cover yourself, to hide. No one should see you so vulnerable. But you cannot conceal the truth in this place. You're bathed in an unbearably bright light. It has no hint of warmth in it. It is blinding. It leaves no shadows in the entire world. It is the light of the shining pillar itself. In this radius, you can clearly see all your thoughts and doubts, your errors and transgressions, the contradictions that have permeated you since birth. They cover you from head to toe like rough gray tatters. But they melt away in this light. You are naked. You feel liberated and whole. It is as though all the wounds and cracks in your soul have been healed, making it the way it should be. It is as though the scales have fallen from your eyes. You see the true shapes of things now. These are the laws by which the world abides, the grand design that moves life itself. You tread a path that is barely visible in the blinding light, giving shape to everything. In this light, you see infinite complexity of the world, from the tiniest leaf to the enormity of the empire. And this world maintains its balance by virtue of the law that was embedded in it during the act of creation. Ahead of you, two figures are waiting on the path. They are gigantic, many times taller than a man. The elder holds a lash, the younger a sword. What was that? Was that a follow? Hold on. I will check. Okay, yeah, follow. Thanks for the follow. I'm getting kind of close to having my 50 for affiliate. I'm like 15 away. Something like that. Almost 15 away. The younger, when was the last the younger a sword? Oh, okay. Yeah, the younger had a sword. What was the older doing with the lash? I thought one was like the nobles of the sword and the other was nobles of the mantle, but you know, no, I'm not. Oh, right. This was the way the nobles just in general, and this was the way the commoners. Right, I remember now. The lash is for the commoners. Right. It's interesting that the older one represents the commoners. You'd think it'd be the noble. The younger gazes at you sternly, coldly. You kneel obediently before him and lower your head. The god raises his sword above you. This is divine retribution. There is no law without it, nor can there be. Every action has consequences. This is what shapes the world, making its very existence possible. In this moment, beneath the gaze of the merciless god, you comprehend the law that binds the entire world together. Which manifestation of the law in will you live by? The law in will you? Okay. Maybe he was a commoner before being married to a noble. I mean, well, it actually doesn't make you noble if you are a commoner and gets married to a noble. So that's what is with our character's family, is his dad, like, they're all like, of course, commoners because they're humans. Humans like are originally commoners and then they can earn their way into the nobility. The blue people, the Archneans, they're just straight nobles. Our grandfather became a judge and thus became a noble. And our father did the same thing. So we're like in a little line of nobles. And he married a noble woman and then had Stephen, our older brother. But then she died and he married a common woman, that was our mother, who had already had a girl by her first marriage, Gloria. And then we were born. But we were still a commoner. Even though our dad was a noble, because our mom was a commoner, we were still a commoner. And that's why when we went to our first like little communion moment, we actually went up to the god with the elder god with the lash, and then we got whipped. Then we went to college and became a judge, and just like our grandfather and father, and so that's when we became a noble. And now that's why we're answering to the younger one. And then we also have a younger brother who was horrible at school and is also still a commoner. So it's, is that why I'm seeing this? I was talking to the younger god. If I weren't a noble, I'd be talking to the older one. But basically, in this, like, world, everyone has, I think, 4 deaths. So, like, 3 deaths, 3 times they can die. Like, 3 lives, essentially, like, almost like in a video game. You know, 3 lives. And then the 4th is true death. And we died once before saving a local girl from a carriage that was barreling down the street at her, and we pushed her out of the way, but then we got run over, and that was our first death. And now our second death here, which, to be fair, I knew that was the repercussion of taking the action, but we needed to get evidence in our case against this noble who is, yeah, in the same body. We need to get evidence against this noble who's a jerk and we hate him. So we really want to prosecute this case against him, to put a stop to his actions. And, because he dueled our friend and killed him. He, like, our best friend, we, like, friend married him. We swapped pinky rings. And, our best friend, he's a soldier under the command of that noble. And the noble has been dueling him and has already taken away a few of his lives. So, you know, we can sacrifice one of ours to get this evidence that we can use against him. And then, I don't know, last time we woke up in the family tomb. But yeah, same body, same person and everything. You just get, like, a couple different lives. Like video game lives. Okay. Which manifestation of the law? You are, okay, so, against the law. Oh, the Empire. The great and incredibly sophisticated mode of existence. Our lot. Oh, we don't want to use our lot. That was like the, like, what path you're on. If you're a commoner, you have to, like, suffer and you know, do what everyone says and stuff. That's your lot. I don't really like that. Family, we're on good terms with our family, but I don't know if I want that to be, like, the most important thing. I think cause. Your life's work shapes the world, and thus your influence the great law itself. On myself. I'm an embodiment of the law. I have been made in accordance with the divine design. Cause or myself? I think we'll do cause. I feel like that's most like the character we've been playing. The blade flashes, or like the character I've been choosing for the story, I guess. Doing a little role playing as his character. That's the one I choose. The blade flashes. The younger sword slashes through the air above your head. You do not yet deserve your final punishment. The law demands that you continue your life. Your form has not been completely destroyed, nor has that of the world. The world hasn't been destroyed? Good. The younger extends his gigantic hand and shows you the way. You must proceed. The path leads you to the top of the crown of the silver tree, spread wide in the white gleam. The branches are close now. It is time to descend. I think my model looks cool. Thank you. It's just a free design, so I was using vtuber Studio. But I had fun making it, and I was happy with the result. You are drawn downward into darkness. The shadows that had disappeared in the blinding glow creep around you and envelope you. This is to be expected, but the purity and clarity of spirit are still with you. Something is forcing your throat open. Air. It scratches you on the inside. Your soul is filled with struggle again, with the contradictions from which the fabric of this world and you yourself are woven. The divine light that gave you clarity is fading away with each passing moment. You have to open your eyes. Above you is the dark ceiling of the crypt. You are reborn. Okay, yeah, we're in the family tomb again. You can feel the world again. The cold stone of the tomb. A weak gust of stagnant air. You rise again from the stone slab in the middle of your family crypt and look closely at your arm. A new black mark encircles it. Little else has changed in your body, born anew, although getting used to it will take some time now. This death is behind you now. It's time to return to your life. You go to work in the morning as usual. Having returned to life, you do all you can to ensure that nobody learns about your death. Any attempt to find your killers and bring them to justice would only hinder your progress in the case. Those Legion soldiers were just following orders, and it's not difficult to figure out whose. Yeah. Which you can see here, see this is our death, so you get 4 in total. It's a point and click game. Kind of. It's yeah, I mean, I guess technically, because like that's all it is, but you're mostly just reading through the story and then like choosing making choices. It's mostly choices matter, story rich game. But the mechanics are technically point and click. But it's like really in depth. I've been playing this for 12 hours now, I think. I think this is like the 7th stream I've been playing this. So like I thought it would be like a quick little game, because the way they imply is that you play it through once, and then like once you kind of get a gist for the story, they kind of are like, oh well, you can start over and start it again because there's so many different branching. Is it relaxing? Yeah, kind of. It's just like reading. I mean, so it's like the story can get pretty intense, but it's just a story, so it's not like there's jump scares or a lot of action or anything like that. But yeah, so it's like it has a lot of branching paths, a lot like choices matter, like choices absolutely do matter. There's so many different things you can do. A lot of the choices like increase different your different stats, and even these stats are developed from like when you're younger in life. Right now we're 24 years old, we're in like the middle portion of our life. I don't know. Yeah, so this was like chapter 1, where we're like a little baby, chapter 2 where we're like a kid, chapter 3 where we're a teen, and then like there's different outcomes depending, different little things that happen along the way, and they change like a lot of the stuff. And so when you make choices, there are all sorts of the conditions. This is all the different things that can happen from our current chapter, based on, and we've been in it for a little while, based on different things. All the different choices you make, they affect your personality. And again, these are even changed from, there were other personality traits when we were in chapter 1, there were like 3 different personality traits. And then I think in chapter like 2, there were 3 other personality traits. And then they like combined them to be in chapter 3 when we're like a teen, into these more kind of nuanced. So all of these are like combinations of like a couple different personality traits that we had as a little kid based on the choices we made. We are very schemy. Oh, and willpower. Sometimes you have to use willpower as like a requirement for a choice. And so we have so much willpower to spare, but sometimes making a choice like will take 5 or 10 willpower. And so you want to make sure you have some, or else you can't do the choice. And it might be like a better choice than like the default one. So we're very schemy. We are 19 out of 20. We're a ringleader, and we're almost a criminal mastermind. Manipulation is pretty good. Eloquence. Our theology is very low because I haven't been doing that route. Our valor is pretty good. Our diplomacy is not that good. Considering I'm a judge, this has been really hard for me this game because I didn't put enough into the right stats as a child. So my diplomacy started out fairly low. I can't make a lot of the right decisions in the game because my diplomacy is so low. Okay, continue on. You'll kind of see once we get to the next choice, and you'll kind of see how it works. For now, you do your best to recover and commit to paper every instance and incident, every name, every circumstance. The once-thin folder against Auden grows fatter by the day. One day, Prefect Alborn pays you a visit to see your progress firsthand. You've done great work, Brante. Commander Auden isn't even bothering to cover his tracks, I must say. This evidence alone would be enough to indict anyone. Anyone save for an Archean nobleman, sadly. So your work here is far from over. I see you realize that. The way things stand right now, summoning an Archean to trial in a court of law would indict us rather than him. It would be best to postpone the case for now, but keep the folder safe and secure. If we want to have any chance of getting him indicted in court, we need to make the nobles in the province recognize duels as acts of murder. This means defying an old tradition, a road perilous and seldom traveled. It means enforcing the rule of law over the Anazo gentry. For now, Sir Brante, return to your other duties and pay particular attention to any dueling incidents. We will take our next step against Sir Auden when the time is right. Okay, so we got our valor and scheming up, so that is good, probably for future. Event has happened. Evidence against Auden. Because we met this condition, we have gathered evidence, so the last choice we made resulted in her death and a couple stats boosts. But big thing was that it meant we got some evidence. So I now have the evidence I need to bring him to trial. The justice requirement for Auden is sentence and the career requirement for Auden faces Board of Honor are reduced by 1. Okay, so the requirements. Oh man, getting evidence doesn't mean I can actually like just run on into the trial now. It just means that the requirements for those outcomes are a little bit easier. Justice, right? I need justice in order to do that. Stephen's Gambit is consequence of my previous actions. And the condition and the reason that this, I guess, little event is kicking in is because I have a good relationship with our half-brother. Stephen, he's our older brother. He's the one that, like, inherited nobility. Not inherited it, but he was better off in life, and he was already, like, on that path. You have hardly found any time for the family matters this year. The events taking place in the city keep you busy at all hours. Tonight you come home extremely late, but the fireplace in the sitting room is lit. By the fire you see Stephen with a glass of wine. Your elder brother has been waiting for you. You take a seat in the chair by Stephen's side. Your brother keeps turning his glass with his long fingers. Sir, we need to have a talk about Gloria. She flatly refuses to behave as she ought to. Her antics are ruining our family's reputation. If this situation persists, nobility of the sword will be out of the question. Brother, I do not wish her ill, but we have no right to sit idly by. Regrettably, Gloria will never truly be a part of the Brante family. Her origins are too tarnished, so it is our duty to find her a new family. It is high time Gloria got married. But we can't just give our sister to a commoner, can we? And how could any noble wed her, knowing her origins? It's been a stumbling block for a long time, but I've finally found a suitable match for her. His name is Jose L. Pelletier. He is a young nobleman of the sword, recently graduated from the college, and now he has a position at the city hall. Do you recall a reception several years ago, where he couldn't take his eyes off Gloria? Pelletier has been obsessed with her ever since. Not even her lowly origins can deter him. Admittedly, Gloria does not reciprocate his affection just yet. So let us convince Gloria that becoming Sir L. Pelletier's bride is her chance to escape her current situation. And then let us pray she comes to her senses and puts her rebellious ways behind her. Isn't this an ideal solution? After marrying L. Pelletier, Gloria will be a noblewoman herself. We'll be granting her the freedom she's craved ever since she was a girl. And then she can read poetry and do whatever else takes her fancy. I will enter the negotiations with the L. Pelletier family. Rumor has it Jose's father already has a future wife in mind for him, the daughter of an important chancellery official. But Jose's passion must win out in the end, don't you agree? As for you, sir, please help me with Gloria. You're closest with her. You can make see how beneficial this match will be. Make her see, I assume. She must fulfill her duty to the family that took her in, after all. Stephen looks at you expectantly. You're at a crossroads. Will you accept your brother's plan or refuse him? Will this marriage be a blessing? And for whom? Ooh. Oof. I feel like I have to refuse him. I can't. Gloria doesn't like that guy. Hold on, I got to get a drink. Gloria doesn't like that guy. Your words slice through the silence of the sleeping house. You disagree with Stephen, and will not participate in his plots against your sister. Stephen does not say anything, but his grip on the glass tightens. Finally, you hear the sound of breaking glass, and glimmering shards fall to the floor. Stephen pensively contemplates the blood running down his palm. Pity. What a pity our grandfather, Sir Gregor, is no longer with us. Oh, I hated that guy. It's not a pity at all. It's a blessing. Thank God. Thank the twins he's not with us. Oh, what a horrible person he was. He would make both you and Gloria see reason. Neither of you is capable of grasping what family and blood mean. I suppose I must bear this burden alone. Stephen leaves the room. You are left alone in front of the dying fire. After your conversation last night, Stephen mostly stays silent and treats Gloria with pointed courtesy. The family breathes a collective sigh of relief. Could the feud between Stephen and Gloria finally be over? You are the only one who is aware of the scheme your brother is concocting. Taking this a bit too seriously, Stephen? I mean, it's a pretty big deal. Our family reputation, to be fair right now, because Oh, that's our family. Oh yeah, okay, so here's our family. There you go, as a picture. So there's me, our younger brother, or older half-brother, Stephen, we just talked to, and then there's Gloria, who she is not really part of our family. Oh, here's our relations with everybody. Oh, here's all the people. Okay, that's cool. Oh, here we go, okay. So our family, we have great unity. But our reputation is not good. Like, we're at 0. So I can see how he's upset about Gloria, because to be fair, she does not obey her lot. She is, as a commoner, she is supposed to just be subservient, and like, you know, typical gender roles and that type of stuff, but she writes poetry. She was at like a secret underground poetry club for commoners. She wears men's clothing. So it is not good. Her actions are not good for our family. The reputation is 0 because I made some choices that brought our reputation down to 0. There's, you know, a lot of legal things. That's all. Yeah, she's a bit of a tomboy, I guess. Yeah, we weren't gonna, I'm not gonna set her up with this guy. She doesn't like this guy. We met him at a party a few years before, and he, like, was beelining for her to talk to her. And she's like, please save me. Can you ask the portrait maker to, like, request our portrait or something, our family portrait? And so I was like, hey, time for a family portrait, and it distracted, like, took the family away, and so that guy wasn't able to talk to her. So, like, we pulled a, like, tricky little maneuver to help her avoid him. I don't want to set them up. That's just a bad idea. But I know Stephen wants Gloria out of the way. Stephen and Gloria have had... It's been a long relationship. Like, they have history. They have history. And, like, they're not technically related at all. Like, by blood. Steven's our half-brother, and Gloria's our half-sister. But neither of them share any parents, so... You know, it's rough getting them on the same page. Your home is quiet tonight. Father is away, arbitrating disputes in migrant villages. Stephen is visiting one of his high-placed patrons. After a dinner spent in silence, everyone retreats to their chambers. You are about to retire for the night when Gloria calls out to you. Sir, wait a minute. I have an important favor to ask you. Your sister leads you to her long-time refuge in the library. Here in the shadows, between the bookcases, you will not be overheard. Yeah, see? Here she's wearing her men's clothes. Brother, I wish to speak with you before Stephen returns. His scheming is becoming unbearable. It's beyond Sir Robert's power to stop him, let alone Mother or Nathan. You're my only hope. You shrug. All families argue from time to time, but every quarrel has to end sooner or later. Yes, it will end when Stephen finally gets rid of me. As far as he's concerned, I'm just a stumbling block and a stain on his father's good name. He lets me stay in the house only to avoid causing a scandal in high society. But as soon as the Brants get his precious nobility of the sword, I'll be on the street in the blink of an eye. Why do they call you sir? Cause that's the name I gave the character. Because, I don't know if it says it here. Yeah, see, our name is Sir Brant, like, literally, our first name is Sir. Because I didn't know what to name him. It's not like a video game where, like, you know, to name Link or whatever. In this case, they were like, what's your first name? And I'm like, I don't know. The game is called The Life and Suffering of Sir Brant, so I was like, I'll just name him Sir. So it means everyone treats me with respect. But, it's also like the Scottish poet Sir Walter Scott. He wasn't actually knighted. The name is Brant. The last name is Brant. Yeah, the last name is Brant. I guess I could have been Brant, but that would be probably confusing. So it's a little less confusing to be called Sir, I think. And I could have just picked a name. I could have been like, I don't know, but the problem is also, like, I don't know what names are already in the game, you know? So, like Steven's already in the game, for instance, and Nathan. So, like, Robert, they're really basic names, so even if I tried to pick a basic name, it'd be really awkward because it might overlap with another character, so I just was like, oh, go with Sir, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, yes. Sir, you don't want for me to get kicked out of the family, do you? Please help me. I need to convince Sir Robert to adopt me and make me legitimate. After that, it won't be so easy for Stephen to dispose of me. And then I won't bear the stigma of being a bastard anymore. I'll adopt you, Gloria. I know you're older than me, but don't worry about that. I know Sir Robert would agree, if only by virtue of the love he has for our mother. But Stephen is standing in the way. Tell me, will you help me? An illegitimate child who has never known her father, a stranger in the family. Gloria looks at you with hopeful, pleading eyes. Oof. Oh wow, this is... Okay, so... Stephen asked us... So basically, they each want us to get in on a plot. And we could decide one way or the other. I'm gonna help Gloria. Cause, like, I don't want to force her into a marriage she doesn't want. But if she wants to be part of the family, like, and Stephen doesn't want that, well, then sucks to be Stephen, doesn't it? Stephen's been a jerk, like, his whole life. So, and I have been very nice to him. I've had people in chat come in and say that I'm, like, the only one they've seen, like, be nice to Stephen at some of these times. So, I'm gonna side with Gloria. I always used to when we were younger, but then Stephen got a little bit better and I was trying to, like, divide my attention between them. But I think it's Gloria's turn to get the favor. You give Gloria a firm embrace. Ever since you were children, she has always been by your side. The two of you may have different fathers, but she is your sister, and she must remain a member of this family. It is your duty to come to her aid. You will make sure Gloria becomes a Brant. Gloria lets out a sigh of relief and hugs you back. It makes me so happy to know you're on my side. You wait for Stephen to come home. Your brother returns from his visit mirthful and in high spirits. Ooh, he won't be for long. This is the perfect moment to have a talk. That went splendidly, brother. Magistrate Elverman himself will support us. Oh, I hate Elverman. I'm on a friendly footing with his son now. It won't be long before we become nobles of the sword. But why are you still up? You raise the matter of your sister. The feud between Stephen and Gloria must end. Your brother seems to be unaware of how much damage it is inflicting on the family, but you know how to remedy it. The reason for everything is Gloria's lowly station. She should bear the Brante name. Your brother assumes a bored mien. Don't waste your time, brother. Playing up too much. Think Steven's gonna get angry. Yeah, I think Steven's gonna... Something bad is probably gonna happen with Stephen, but... I mean, or we could just suffer the consequences of, like, it hurting our reputation or something like that. I mean, and probably not becoming nobles of the sword, I imagine. Like, I feel like we're throwing that away. But I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. Don't waste your time, brother. I know what Gloria is after. You mentioned damage to the family. Can you even fathom what this would mean for the Brante name by allowing an illegitimate child into his family? Our father would cover all of us with an indelible shame. Several generations of Brants to come would not even dare to dream of becoming nobles of the sword. By the twin gods, I will not let that happen. You attempt to point out to Stephen that Gloria's desperate situation is leading her to more and more audacious escapades. If your sister becomes a member of this family, she'll stop. Reputation already 0, can't carry lower. That's true, but we might, like, maybe that, like, another event will happen to get us our reputation up, but then this will cause another event to happen after that, and that'll lower it down again, right? Like, not everything always happens immediately in this game. If your sister becomes this family, she'll stop. Believe me, sir, I want to see Gloria at peace as much as you do, but not at the cost of our family's future. Absolutely not. I have a different idea for Gloria, and I'm sure the solution will satisfy everyone involved. Good night. You let your sister know Stephen's vehement denial. Gloria is so vexed she is shaking. So he wouldn't even hear us out? Is that it? He's willing to do anything just to drive me out, isn't he? Sir, we need to think of something. Gloria will continue her battle for the right to stay in the family. You have promised to help her. Okay. Didn't think of that, yeah. It's, like I said, 12 hours into this game. 12 hours into this game. I know its wily ways. A realm unknown. The sun is setting on a cold, windy day as you return from the prefecture. To your surprise, a messenger awaits you at the door with an urgent letter from Sir Elborn. You open the letter. That's our boss. Brant, there's an urgent case that I must entrust to you. We have just received a report of a secret society formed by young nobles. The Archduke's family may be involved. This concerns me. I suspect a possible plot to depose Overseer Tempest. Normally the secret chancellery handles all such cases, but I'd rather investigate the rumors of the plot before there's any action. Preventing unnecessary bloodshed and disgrace would be prudent. You are to investigate this matter as soon as possible. The gendarmes tracked down a suspicious nobleman by the name of Alexis L. Lance. Based on his confession, a meeting of the society will be held tonight. Unfortunately, this is all we were able to learn from him. The L. Lance family is of too high standing for more thorough questioning. Fortunately, all members of the secret society wear masks when attending meetings. We have acquired L. Lance's personal mask and will ensure that he's late to the meeting. You should be able to impersonate him quite easily. You are to attend the meeting tonight and learn as much as possible about the secret society. This will allow us to foil a dangerous plot, or save many young people from the secret chancellery. The letter includes a delicate gilded mask of intricate workmanship. Fortunately, it fits your face perfectly. It seems your plans for tonight have changed. Did I have other plans? Following the prefect's instructions, you come at the appointed hour to an inconspicuous mansion on the edge of Anizote with a spacious yard and a tall fence around it. The gatekeepers bow and open the gate as soon as they see you. It seems the mask is enough to convince them you belong inside. Inside the yard, you see noble carriages, many more than you had expected. If I get caught, it's another death? Maybe. Usually they tell you, though. Like, usually your deaths are, like, you make the choices and it tells you that a death is coming. You can actually turn that off. There's, like, a setting Yeah, hidden consequences. So you can change it so that you can't see the consequences of the different choices. But I have them on because it's they said it was recommended, I think, for a first time playthrough. They like expect people to play this through again and again for some reason, even though it's such a long game. But yeah, so the first time you kind of play through it with the consequences on, so you can kind of see get a hang for what does what, I think. But you can also keep on later if like you really want to like get a different ending, so then you can like purposefully steer a different route than you had before. But so we'll see. We'll see the death coming before it hits us at least. You are ushered into a dressing room of sorts. A change of clothes already awaits you inside. It is a curious garb, a square, flowing, sparkling cloth with clasps and cords to keep it from unwrapping. You have never seen anything like it. With this strange robe and the gilded mask over your normal clothes and face, you cannot help but feel rather silly. This attire feels positively unsuitable for any kind of plotting or scheming. Next, you proceed to a large room. The windows are covered in black cloth to keep prying eyes away, but you forget about it moments later. What seems to be a strange performance is playing out before your very eyes. You hear droning, unfamiliar music coming seemingly from nowhere. You see candlelight dancing and glimmering. Ribbons of gold and silver are hung along the walls as decorations, and there are people, many people, like you. They are dressed in flowing robes and delicate gilded masks with narrow slits for eyes. You wonder what speedruns of this game look like? I mean, depends on if you were like gonna actually read everything or not. Because you could just like flip through this, you know, and just go straight to the choices. But if you're gonna actually read through, I mean, I don't know. There's just different paths. The people are talking. They stand unexpectedly close to one another, their hands on each other's shoulders. You approach one of the groups, hoping to overhear the subject of their conversation. But you almost recoil when several arms reach out at once, attempting to grasp you tenderly by the shoulder. Steeling yourself, you put a hand on another person's forearm. The masked people seem friendly and genial. No one appears surprised by your insecurity. And their conversations are also quite out of the ordinary. You hear unfamiliar names that could belong to legendary heroes of old, or to the people here who have taken them as secret identities. You hear mentions of books you do not know and emotions they felt while reading them. Their conversations feel like a strange dream. You hear several voices singing in a far-off corner of the room. There are no lyrics to the song, each voice maintains its own note. Together these voices form a tender, softly aching melody. It feels enrapturing. It spirits you away. You feel so distant now from the purpose of your visit, so withdrawn from the judge's trade, so far away from the Empire and from your very self. A hand touches your shoulder, bringing you back to your senses. A pair of familiar eyes look at you intently from behind a glinting, greenish-silver mask. They belong to Octavia. You pull back and bow to the Archduke's daughter. Ah, I wonder if she recognizes us. She's our lover. I wonder. I thought she might be here. Yeah, she recognizes us. Of course she does. I believe I recognize the man behind this mask. I never expected to see you here today, my extraordinary human. But I must behave here. You'd best do the same. We are not alone. It would be best if we are not seen too close to one another. As for this place, Sir Brant, allow me to explain. Don't use my name, Octavia! People could be listening. This is my circle of Latari. And before you ask, no, we do not plot, nor do we scheme. We have removed ourselves as far as possible from such machinations. This place is a little world of our own, a brief respite from tradition and noble customs and other such fuss. Our gathering is but a pretense, a game of make-believe. We pretend we are neither nobles nor citizens of the blessed Empire, nor humans nor Archnians, but the Latari. Do you know what this word means? I would not be surprised if you have never heard of the Latari. These days, the people of Latari are mentioned only in rare historical works. Long before us, in an age when this land was fertile and green, the Latari lived upon the land that would become Makra. They were masters of a remarkable art. They could create worlds from nothing but their conscious minds. Many of these people came here for simple entertainment and a brief taste of freedom. Others seek a respite from the binding customs of the noble lot. Still others feel encumbered by their blood ties and ancestral obligations. Only here are we fully free from the burden of our past and our present. Yet some among us seek more than brief moments of freedom. They are drawn here by the fascination of the Latari, and their idea that our entire existence can be shaped by the mind alone. We strive to know the Latari people for ourselves. We strive to continue their teachings. We strive to become them. If we happen to master the art of shaping worlds from our own minds, we may yet break free of the trap that is this harsh existence. Surprised by this, you ask her why she is telling you this so openly. She knows that the rituals of extinct races are held in the same regard as magic and punishable as such. In response to your question, Octavia suddenly takes off her golden mask and reveals a slight smile on her once hidden face. May your voice ne'er speak words of deceit. To great shame lies the path of untruth. Where an Arcanian lies, where a human denies, the Latari speak truly forsooth. That's like a weird little limerick. That's a weird tone for the seriousness of the situation. I'm not afraid. The truth of the Latari matters more to me than any persecution. You came here in secret, and wearing a mask, which means the prefecture has taken an interest in my little gatherings. But I am confident you will describe this as an innocent club of young nobles and keep our fragile world from prying eyes and ears. Would you do this for me, Sir Brante? These words spoken by Octavia sound more like an assertion than a question, but you are in no hurry to respond. Your thoughts are tangled, lost among the echoing voices, fluid motions, and transcendent music. This gathering is in violation of the law. This you cannot deny. All rituals of extinct races were banned at the foundation of the Empire. You may summon the gendarmes here at any moment. You need only give a sign to the driver. And when they get here, the circle of Latari will be gone in an instant. You will prove to the city that not even the most noble of its denizens are above the law, but Octavia will never forgive you. You could, on the other hand, keep the circle of Latari a secret from Melbourne and report this meeting as a harmless gathering of young nobles looking for an opportunity to socialize. But if the secret chancellery ever takes interest in these meetings, you will be powerless. Someone has already reported Octavia's circle to the prefecture. There is a good chance these reports will continue. Perhaps if you tell Octavia the danger she is facing, she will disband the circle herself. There is one more way you could resolve this predicament. With a piece of paper, some ink, and a bit of skill, the Circle of Latari could become a noble historical society, one of many dozen in Anazote. Legitimized by the city, Octavia's gatherings would remain a secret within this mansion. But do you have enough influence to make this possible? And would it be wise to expend it in this way? Say something, sir. This is no time to be quiet. The great mystery of Latari is about to begin. Ooh. I can't legitimize it, so here's like what the choices look like. Okay, so this is I can't do this one. This is what would be the nice one. I need patronage of the powerful. Oh man, I wish I had that. That'd be so good. So many times it would have come in handy. And it would use up 5 willpower. But I need diplomacy really high, and I do not have really high diplomacy. I do have enough manipulation for this, just barely. Oh, and the justice goes up in this one, and I need higher justice if I'm gonna convince Autumn, or convict Autumn. So that's good. Oh, but this also is justice, but keep their secret, justice goes down, and that'd be so bad. Octavia will like me more, but Augustin will like me less. And I don't benefit from getting more willpower. But I do get a cool destiny. Ooh, doing this one, our reputation goes down. I don't want that. We gotta do this, and we gotta take a hit with our relationship with Octavia, which is really sad, but we're gonna do this one. We'll convince her to disband. We're not going to ban it ourselves. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We could keep their secret, but it's just going to be a bad idea. Because again, our whole thing has been we want to hold nobles accountable for stuff too. Now, I'd like to legitimize it, but I just don't have the sway. So, I'll convince her to do it. This is the best option. At least she can do it on her own terms. But like, look, you gotta know, Octavia, if I don't If you don't do it, and I don't do it, someone else will disband this group. Gently, you take the Archduke's daughter by the hand and beg her to hear you out. With great patience and insistence, you tell Octavia that she has underestimated the danger that looms over her guests and herself. Ever since the Empire was founded, reenactment of any rituals of extinct races has been considered a sign of revolt against the crown, and worse yet, the Circle seeks to reach the Lautari to flee the Empire and to circumvent the worldly and divine law. If the powers that be ever learn about this, they will have no mercy. Not even Octavia's noble birth will save the Circle from what will come next. The Circle of Lautari has already been reported and is about to be dispersed, and you cannot stop it. Either you will disperse it yourself, or the secret chancellery will take it upon themselves. Octavia will come to no harm no matter what, but many other members of her society will be taken away, regardless of their noble rank or birth. Octavia is focused on you as you speak, her thoughts a mystery behind her dark green eyes. When you finish, she remains silent for a while, perfectly composed as befits a lady of her rank, a trembling of her thin lips the only hint of any inner torment. Sir, I have no choice but to admit that you are right. But why now of all times? So be it, my gentle judge. You leave me no other choice. She turns gracefully to face the people in the hall, and raises her hand to call for their attention. Circle of Lautari, there will be no mystery tonight. Our meeting will have to end before its time, and there will never be another. I am your leader, and I demand that you forget forever everything that has happened within these walls. It is my word and my will. Leave this place, never to return. The guests exchange confused glances. They begin taking off their Lautari masks and robes. You now recognize many of them as the offspring of respectable noble families residing in Anisote. Octavia, meanwhile, turns to you. This is enough, I hope? Congratulations, you've just ended a dangerous plot against the Empire itself. As for me, I will continue on my own. I no longer need the other as much as I did at first. Octavia cuts her speech short. She looks at you intently. But this is only my concern and my responsibility. Farewell, sir. It will be a long while before we meet again. I have much to do on my own. You report to Elborn the morning after that his concerns were well-founded. A group of young nobles had founded a secret society that sought to reenact the rituals of long-extinct races, but you convinced them to end their dangerous practices. Wisely done, Brante. Far better than taking on every powerful noble family at once. We'd never have been able to punish them all. But you've managed to disperse their so-called circle at the very least. The common folk will now see that we aren't going to let younger nobles break the law. The age of equality under the law still remains distant, but thanks to you, justice has taken one step forward in Anisote. You cannot help but think of Octavia and those who followed her. They dared to reject their nature, lot, and birth in an attempt to become something else entirely. But in the Empire, there is no something else. As for Octavia herself, she has disappeared from your life for the foreseeable future. She seems to have vanished from the social circles of Anisote since that night. The Archaean has never been one to share her plans with you. Your encounters with her have ended as abruptly as they had begun. Aww. But, our status has grown close still. And, we have 2 relation. That's not bad. Okay. Oh, yay. Okay, commoners are protected. Hooray! I think this is enough justice to prosecute Auden. That's good. And we're even a little bit more manipulative. That's good, that's good. I'm gonna take a drink. Oh, years passed. Mark of dishonor. Oh no. Oh no. Our reputation is 0. Mark of dishonor. Recent events have dealt a crushing blow to the reputation of the Brante family. You have slipped into the realm of infamy and disgrace. So far, the noble families of the city have patiently endured your transgressions, but now you have lost face in their eyes. Noble society is eager to bring your every dusty scandal back into the light. Old offenses, ancient grievances, and naturally father's marriage to Lydia Brante and Gloria's ignoble origins. And they have surely not forgotten that the sons of Robert and Lydia Brante, Sir and Nathan, were born out of wedlock. None of the oh, where were we? I forgot that part. None of the nobles will ever say this to your face, of course. Their behavior will seem perfectly ordinary on the surface, but no matter where you go now, you will be followed by scornful glances and dismissive whispers. We have to accept this and humbly bear this burden. It's your fault, dude. All hope of being ennobled by the sword is lost. No matter what we do to restore our name, we will never wash away this mark of dishonor. Yikes. Okay, well, we're still at peace. That's good. And our wealth is down a little, but we're still fine. An event has happened. The bright name is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. Oof. Okay. Well, you know, sometimes it happens. Year 1143, the last straw. Rumors are running wild in Anazote. People say that a mysterious clandestine society called the Last Straw holds the entirety of the city's seedy underbelly in its clutches, with men in safe houses all over Anazote plotting and scheming against the nobles and the rulers of the province. Their leader is a woman, a ruthless criminal by the name of Sophia. She has evaded all attempts at capture. That's the girl! That's a girl. We helped her before. We helped her escape, Auden actually once. We also pushed her out of the way of the carriage and had our first lesser death ourselves. And also we helped her smuggle a professor out who was lying about his credentials. It was because he was supposed to be noble born. He had like a good education. That wasn't the problem. It was like a, you know, classist issue. So we should be on good terms with her. Now, we did not side with the Lotless, that was like her group, before, but, you know, but she's a witch. She does magic. That's pretty cool. The common people both fear the Last Straw and sympathize with their cause. If the rumors are true, the city finally has someone who will stop at nothing to help the people claim their rights. But who would support the secret organization? And how did the insurgents manage to survive this long? No one in the city knows the answers. Magistrate Elverman must assuage the people's fears once again. The vile mutineers and heretics who call themselves the Last Straw will be caught and executed very soon, and anyone who has given them money and shelter will meet the same fate. The secret chancellery will make sure of that. But even facing a manhunt, the Last Straw still endures. Slowly but surely, the influence of this underground organization is spreading throughout the city. Ooh. Okay. Justice hasn't changed. Good. Okay, but order is a little down. Power. Now even power. So commoners have a little more power. That's nice. And Magra's a little less wealthy, but, you know, we're still fine. We have security. At least we don't have misery and devastation. I think that's really what we're trying to avoid. Okay. Threats and promises. You are in the middle of ascending the city hall's long, curved marble staircase. A small man beneath the building's towering vault. You were suddenly visited that night by messengers from Magistrate Elverman. They insisted the reason was most urgent. You were already expected upstairs. There is a deafening silence in the lavishly decorated corridors, your footsteps the only noise you can hear. Finally, you enter the spacious room that is the office of Elverman, a stately official of considerable age. You find him sitting in his comfortable chair of carved wood. He acknowledges your presence with a nod. However, the magistrate is not alone. By the window of the office stands a tall Archnean. Oh, I recognize you. Oh, I hate that guy. I also don't like Elverman. These are like the two worst people. The cape of the Imperial Legion covers his shoulders. He is Dorius Auden, the commander of Magra in the flesh. He does not even bother to turn around and look at you. The magistrate gestures to you formally, beckoning you closer. Judge Brante, you have come at last. Sir Auden has been eagerly awaiting your arrival. You see, the commander has learned about the litigation being prepared against him at the prefecture. He demanded that an end be put to these machinations at once, and I humbly offered him my assistance. Slowly, Auden turns to face you. He eyes you with cold contempt. Brante, you again. So, you've chosen me to oversee this so-called case against me? I don't envy you. I will be brief. I will not stand idly by in the face of slander and baseless accusations. Give me your word of honor as a nobleman, and you will do everything in your power to put a stop to this litigation. Only then will you be free to leave. I will treat any other answer as an insult against my noble lineage, and let it be known that Sir L. Vernon holds many positions, such as the chairman's seat of the seat at the Court of Honor, which means that any insult will be soon followed by a legitimate duel of honor. I'm sure you know full well how others have fared in duels against me. That's the whole case we're plotting against you. Our whole case is that you were dueling, and dueling is illegal. Dude, how dare you threaten me with a duel? Like, I'll just use this as evidence. You're just giving me more evidence. Okay, oof. Okay, Auden turns toward the window before you say anything, as if your answer has already been heard. Magistrate Vermin watches Auden and you silently with a mysterious smirk. You stand before the two lords of the city, a young man only recently ennobled by the mantle. Any word that leaves your lips now will affect your fate. Okay, this is... Seek El Vermin's protection. Ugh, good thing that's not an option. Ooh, if we had a... Oh, well, okay, we could have patronage of the powerful, again, which would help us in so many things, but also we would need a friendship with El Vermin. How in the world would we have done that? We would have had to have been such a horrible person. No. Give Auden your word. Ugh. We want to make sure we don't click on this. God, only bad things happen from that. Negative career, negative justice. No way. Okay, we can put Auden at ease. It improves our friendship with him. Ew. And, increases our manipulation. But we can also retaliate. Assuring him the case possesses no threat to him whatsoever. I'm worried that like is somehow like going to be a problem. This, we give up 5 willpower, worth it. Oh no, we also get another death. Oh man. We improve our reputation though, and our valor. Oh no, I don't know if we can afford another death. Oh man, I thought this was gonna be the way to go for sure. Ugh. Man, I think we have to put him at ease. I was like really into this. I was like, ooh yeah, this is great, it improves our reputation, but like, no. No. I think we have to put it. Mollify the outrage argument, assuring him that the case poses no threat to him whatsoever. Hopefully that means we're still doing the case, though. Okay, I mean, it's not this one, so... Like, it doesn't hurt our career or anything. We're just manipulating him. We're just lying. That's all. We're just lying. Stand our ground and force him to back down. But we will die. I don't want to... I was gonna do this, but... Don't want to die. I know I'm metagaming a little bit, but like, I want to stay in the game, you know? Defying Auden's will now means facing true death by his sword. And your family will be left to suffer next. True death? What? You have no choice but to lie and mislead the enraged Archnean, doing what you can to mollify him. And so you bow deeply and speak as meekly as you can. Indeed, you say, His Excellency has every right to feel wronged by the prefecture. There is indeed a folder with his name on it in the archives. But you do not seek to besmirch Auden's honorable name. No, quite the contrary. You have merely been told to investigate slanderous rumors of illegal duels, and so far you have found no evidence that could tarnish the honor of the commander of Magra. How is he... He knows we have evidence. Like, we were at the duel, one of the duels, where he killed our best friend. I mean, maybe he just doesn't remember, but no, he definitely remembers, because he hates us. It is true that Sir Auden is an impeccable master of the sword, and no opponent can duel him without suffering a lesser death, but His Excellency has chosen every right to duel whomever he chooses. You, on the other hand, are but a humble servant of the law. To you, even the thought of initiating litigation against an Archnean lord is simply unthinkable. Who would ever seek to judge guilty those who have been chosen by the gods themselves to rule over the rest of the Empire? Quit your groveling, Brante. I don't need to waste my time on a duel to see you're no threat to me. So much the better for me, then. The Archduke is expecting me already. But pray to the twins if I ever hear a word of this so-called case ever again. Farewell. Auden quickly walks out of the magistrate's office. Once his cape has disappeared down the long hall, Alverman turns to you with a smile of approval. I see you're getting more and more accustomed to knowing your place, Brant. The likes of you are always a perfect fit in the ranks of power, even if you will never reach the very top. Once again, I am most pleased to have you with us. Ugh, I hate you. You leave the city hall with a heavy heart. Sir Elborn wants Auden's case to progress, and so it will, no matter how much you have to bluff and delude those in power. Auden's sword will continue to loom over you until the case comes to an end. Oof. Okay, we're a little more manipulative. That's gotta be good in the long run, I'm sure, or something, but... Alright, gotta take a drink. Okay. Nobleman's honor. Auden's case still looms over you, a burden and a threat. As the strife between the estates grows more bitter, the judges' trade grows tougher by the day. The commoners demand more rights and legal protections. The nobles do their best to push back. As things stand right now, any verdict made in court may result in upheaval in the province, and possibly determine the outcome of your case against Auden. One day in a park by the Fala's estate, favored by dueling Anazote nobles, you see a curly-haired young man lying prone in the small sunlit square. His body has been pierced by a sword and has not vanished. A true death. You are here to investigate a report of an illegal duel. The winner is still here, a slender middle-aged noble in an elegant black jacket, his hands still on the hilt of his sword, surrounded by gendarmes. Your orders, sir? Your orders, Your Honor? Sir Alcorvio will not submit on his own. He wouldn't dare use force, we wouldn't dare use force against him. You sign for the gendarmes to lower their weapons and approach the duelist. Alcorvio's eyes widen, and his face comes to life when he notices you. Before you can ask him, the nobleman begins to speak, far louder than necessary. It was a duel sanctioned by the Court of Honor. That is all. The late Sir Aleste questioned my loyalty to the Emperor, and called me an apostate. He left me no other choice but to defend my honor, and now he's dead. Please be quick with your verdict, Sir Judge. I'm expected at the capital. You do know who I am, don't you? Before you can say a single word, a carriage bearing the crest of Magistrate Alverman rolls through the gate. The magistrate furrows his silvery brow as he looks at the sorrowful scene, then gestures politely for Alcorvio to approach his carriage. With a chuckle, the duelist walks through the line of gendarmes and leans on the carriage. Meanwhile, the magistrate takes you aside for a moment. Brant, as you know, I am the chairman of our city's court of honor. I refused to sanction this duel for as long as I could, since true death was on the line. But Alan Alcorvio insisted on that defying him would spell trouble for the city of Anazote. Regrettably, he's a small yet important person in the Emperor's court. He used to command the Emperor's personal guard. I realize that you must mete out justice as your duty demands, but remember, duels of honor are one of the cornerstones of imperial tradition, one of the pillars that support the twins' divine vision for the future, for the Empire. You have the authority to punish Alcorvio, but be careful. He might make a dangerous enemy both for yourself and for all the nobles of Anazote. That fool Aleste didn't know this, and now he's lying there before us. We would be wise not to repeat his mistake. The magistrate of Anazote glances around, then continues in a hushed tone. Brett, this situation is far from ordinary. If the fate of the city means anything to you, it would be best to let Alcorvio go without a trial. Anazote doesn't need any trouble from the capital, and the El Estes are not as strong as they used to be. They'll get through it. You may find him if you wish. Alcorvio will pay it and move on. And justice will be done, at least to some extent. However, if you can diffuse the matter entirely, you'll earn favor with all of the aristocracy of Anazote, and I'll personally see to it you get a swift promotion. Deep in thought, you gaze at the body of the dead duelist and the long shadow of Alcorvio. The decision you are about to make could influence all future duels in the province as well as your own standing. We cannot legalize duels. And, I don't want to. Pronounce the Court of Honor illegal. Ooh, that'd be nice. We need more diplomacy for that, and we just don't have it. Oh man. Not having more diplomacy really hurt us. We can find him. And we do get more diplomacy for that, but justice goes down. And our career goes up. But this one, our career goes down, but justice goes up, and our family wealth goes up. sentence El Corvo to capital. And we can do this because we have connection with Octavia? That's a weird condition. Your elite patronage allows you to have the murderer prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Well, she's not really our patron. I mean, we can do what we can to try to get more diplomacy. Improve our career, but then justice goes down. I think we have to find him. Hopefully this doesn't get in our way, or in our case against Auden. Hopefully there's something else we can do that will help. But I need diplomacy. You approach the silent El Corvio with your decision. You find him guilty of manslaughter. As punishment, he is ordered to pay a fine to the Imperial Treasury and make a donation to the family of the dead man. El Corvio's lips twist in a wry grin. He throws a heavy coin purse your way. That ought to be enough to cut down a couple more brash impudent youths who dare call me a traitor to the crown. I have urgent business in Eterna, Judge. I'm sure you can handle the paperwork yourself. Farewell. With an accompanying smile, El Vermin opens the door of his carriage to the duelist. El Corvio vanishes within. Before they leave, the magistrate takes a moment to approach you. The Court of Honor thanks you for this wise resolution, Sir Brante. Now I will placate El Corvio myself. You've acted like a true noble, even though the traces of this incident will remain, unfortunately. Your reasonable action will not be forgotten. You dismiss the gendarmes and return to the prefecture to take care of the paperwork. As long as your report is worded carefully enough, nothing about this incident will clash with the empire-wide dueling ban. But no matter what the paperwork says, young Eleste will still be dead. Okay, well at least our career is a little bit better. And justice is down. But we just need one more for it to be in the right realm to be able to prosecute what's-his-face. And our diplomacy is up. Man. We are nowhere near the diplomacy we need, though. But we've come a long way on building our diplomacy. So, you know. Oh no. Consequence of my actions. Oh no, what's gonna happen to Thomas? Hold on, I need to take a drink. You are shaving before going to work. You scoop warm water from the wash basin. The morning light reflected in the mirror is blinding. A servant rushes in with an urgent letter, or rather a crumpled note. He says it is from a childhood friend of yours. You flinch involuntarily. A nasty cut appears on your cheek. Sir, I'm in trouble. Auden knows that I helped you, and now he's finally decided to get rid of me. His henchmen are on my trail already. They'll find me no matter how well I hide. I'm out of time, Brante. If you can, for the sake of our old friendship, help me out of this mess. Somehow. If Auden finds me, I'll be off to the Shining Pillar. I'm all out of lives. Your friend, Thomas. You crush the note in your hands. A drop of blood runs down your cheek. Your old friend is in danger because he helped you with the case against Auden. If you don't interfere, Thomas Guerrero is doomed. Oh hey, Soyoku. Welcome, welcome. Things are rough in this game tonight. We've had our second lesser death. And, like, yeah, things are tight. Don't get involved. How could we not? Jeez, why would that would give us more willpower? Not like we already have all the willpower we want. And Thomas, true death? No. Gotta be really careful not to click on that. How did I die? We need to get evidence against Auden, and the best way for me to do it, because I didn't have enough probably diplomacy or something, was had to go myself and talk to the Legion soldiers for more evidence of his dueling. And I did get the evidence, but that tipped off Auden that I was investigating, and then he clearly sent soldiers from the Legion after me, his own little henchmen, which we can eliminate them here, and he sent them after me, and we fought, and they killed me, unfortunately. So that was quite sad. But we did get evidence for prosecuting Auden. Wait, okay. I just remembered. Okay, so I was worried here because no, it's not what I want. Not the map. Justice, right. So I was worried because this whole time, because we just made a choice which made justice go down, and I recall the requirement for the justice in order to be able to prosecute the case against Auden and to like convict him, is we needed a 7. However, I believe because I have evidence, the justice requirement is actually 1 less now. So this should be enough. Should be fine. I'd still like to get 1 more justice, but if we can't, then this is good enough. Okay. So we can protect Thomas. Ooh, we get another death. I don't want another death. This one hurts our career, but it rescues Thomas. This one we get another death. We already had another option where we could have died, but that was like... It's like, if we had taken that one, this would have been our true death. So, we already have 2 deaths. We only have 2 to go. And we have a lot of life to live. And especially because, like, the last section of life is called, like, the revolt or something. So, like, I don't want to use my deaths now. We'll eliminate his henchmen. Bribe the prefecture gendarmes to capture and kill the enemies threatening Thomas. Yeah, this is the way to go. It hurts our career, but don't get him. God, we can't let Thomas die. We're investing too much in Thomas already. Okay, we gotta tank our career a little bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Crumpling the note in your hand, you pace the room and think. The hiding place you provided for Thomas proved to be insufficient. You have not been able to save him from Auden entirely. Well, you must do it now. But fighting Auden on your own would be unwise. You need a more cunning plan. How could Auden's henchmen find Thomas's hiding place? Only through you. But they would not be so foolish as to attack you, a prefecture judge. That means you have to get rid of them yourself. You get in your carriage and order the driver to take you to the prefecture. You find Captain Linad. The commander of the gendarmes greets you like an old friend. Judge Brante, how can I be of service? With a mysterious air, you gesture for Linad to come closer and inform him that an attack is planned against you tonight. Captain Linad narrows his eyes, suspicious. Keeping order is our duty, Your Honor. My squad will defend you. You hint to Linad that the situation is a little more complicated than that. The perpetrators might not attack you outright. They may just threaten you. But the gendarmes have a responsibility to prevent this as well, don't they? And afterwards, perhaps they could testify in court that the criminals were about to attack you. I see. You know many citizens of Vanazode live on the edge of poverty. Crime is on the rise, Your Honor. It's understandable. Even with the gendarmes' wages, it's hard to get by. You understand what Linad is implying, and you assure that the efforts of the gendarmes will be properly rewarded. But after capturing the criminals, gendarmes will also have to confirm the fact of the attacking in the court. That night you go for a walk around the city, purposefully choosing empty side streets. Shadows follow you at a distance, gendarmes in civilian dress. Ominous silhouettes appear before you. You examine the faces hidden beneath their hoods. Their clothing is ostentatiously coarse, but their manners and speech betray them as servants from a noble household. The leader speaks, asking if you are a friend of one Sir Thomas Guerra. He says that they are friends too and wish to pay him a visit, but are having trouble finding him. They're attacking the judge. Arrest them. In the blink of an eye, the gendarmes swoop in and round up Auden's henchmen. The blows from the gendarmes' clubs quickly beat any desire to resist out of them. They are put in wooden restraints and taken to the prefecture. Linad hands you some papers. These are our statements, Your Honor. We're always happy to help. The same night, with a stroke of a pen, you send all 5 Auden's servants to the gallows for attacking a nobleman and a judge. Fortunately, they are all lowborn, so no one will intercede on their behalf, not even Auden himself. The commoner will be furious, but he will also have to find some new goons. Or the commander will be furious, but he will also have to find some new goons. At the very least, you have bought Thomas some time. You hurry to see your friend, but he is not in his hideout anymore. All you find is a note. Sir, after you got rid of those thugs, I decided to flee Vanazode. Without his spies, Auden seems to have lost my trail. And it's all thanks to you. I'm in your eternal debt, Brante. I hope you take down that bastard and put an end to his crimes once and for all. We'll meet again. Your friend, Thomas. Oh, yeah, he's rescued! Hooray! Ooh, our career is in a dangerous position. But That's fine. It's worth it for Thomas. Making sure Thomas is safe is important. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Okay. Alfero's list. You spend day after day hard at work, toiling over Autumn's case, but something far more urgent demands the prefecture's attention today. The city is in chaos. There was an explosion in the square in front of City Hall. Boom. Someone threw a bomb at Magistrate Remiel Vermin's carriage. Good for them. The assassination attempt failed. The magistrate was not inside the carriage at the time. He was unharmed, although his servants and driver did not fare so well. Even in your office, you can still smell this acrid smoke from the blast. The gendarmes reacted quickly. 5 suspects, craftsmen and factory workers, were brought to the prefecture before sunset. They are accused of joining the Last Straw, a secret society of insurgents seeking to overthrow imperial rule. This society is on its way to becoming the talk of the city. Rumor has it their leader is an enigmatic woman, a tough criminal by the name of Sophia. The 5 suspects deny their involvement, but a number of eyewitnesses saw them walking toward the square, and some of them still have traces of gunpowder on their fingers. Judge Carlo Falkengraben has taken the case. The trial will be mercilessly swift. The 5 are to be hanged tomorrow morning. The sun begins to set. You are about to leave for home when you hear heavy footsteps in the hallway. I don't know this guy, do I? Oh, that must be Alfaro. Maybe. I'm like, I don't think I met him yet. Okay, yeah, a stranger enters your office. Okay. He is pale with chiseled features, a furrowed brow, a thick black mustache, and dark eyes watching you intently from deep within their sockets. He presents you with a gilded pendant in the shape of a wheel. Felipe Alfaro. Baron Felipe Alfaro, Secret Chancellery Advisor. I imagine you're well aware that we deal with plots, schemes, and revolts against the Empire. I have a matter of great importance to the Empire to discuss with you, Sir Brante. I am aware that the case of the explosion in the square was not assigned to you, but for our purposes this is actually for the best. The Secret Chancellery has been following the so-called Last Straw group for a long time now. They are the greatest threat to the peace in Anizote. But you can help us rid the city of this menace. Baron Alfaro produces a neatly folded sheet of paper. This is a list of known insurgents connected to the Last Straw. They haven't blown anyone up just yet, but surely you realize that it would be most imprudent to wait for them to commit their next crime. The time to act is now. You scan the list quickly. Some of the names on it seem somewhat familiar, perhaps from your youth. Find a way, anyway, to implicate them in today's assassination attempt, and you will prevent more explosions in the future. The Empire will rest easy if we can rid ourselves of this scum as quickly as possible. If you render the service to the Secret Chancellery, you may rely on our assistance in the future. As you may suspect, I have more than my fair share of powerful connections. Ooh. Ooh, and all of the options are open to us. I love options. Silence falls. The Secret Chancellery Advisor pierces you with his heavy gaze. Okay. We can obey the Secret Chancellery. But then we get our patronage of the powerful. We could have used that so many times by now. Oh my god. Our career goes up too. Province power goes down. Our family unity goes down. That's not good. Yeah, can I look at the names on the list again? Just... Why do our family relations hurt? What? Robert goes down. Father will be really mad at us. Justice goes down too. Can't let that happen. That's way too bad. Also, we weren't gonna do that anyway, but I just want to see what the options were. We can conduct an investigation. Okay, this was not so bad. Our career goes up, justice goes up, power goes down, but it's whatever. Our family wealth goes down, but we're well enough, okay? Scheming goes up, which is great, because if our scheming goes up 1, that makes us a criminal mastermind, and I like it. That's max scheming. Maxed out the scheming skill. Okay, this one justice goes up 2. Our career goes down if we protect the people on the list. Our valor goes up. Family unity goes up. Our reputation goes down. It's already at 0, so it's... But our career goes down too. We can't let that happen. Shelter the suspects. Our unity and wealth go up. Thus, this is a family thing. Oh, wait. And this is because we're helping Gloria. Huh. Yeah, we told Gloria we'd help her, try to convince our dad to adopt her. But, I don't know, this feels, I don't really know if I want to do that. I think we want to conduct an investigation. It's at the cost of power in the province shifting towards the nobles, which is fine. It's still pretty close to even. And our family wealth goes down a little bit, but that's fine. Money well spent. Money well spent. To improve my career and improve the justice, it's a good call. It's probably best. I mean, this is like the even rows, really, right? Like, investigate. You know, I'll look into it. Because, like, the problem is, like, I'm fine, like, prosecuting the people who blew up the magistrate's carriage. Like, that's fair. That is a crime. And even if I agree with them, it is still a crime and I'm a judge. So, like, within the law to do that, that is fine. But, like, making people involved with that plot who were not, that I do not want to do. But I also don't really want to shelter the suspects, like, because if they're suspects, I mean, that feels like a little bit much. That feels like I could, but I'm not really in a position to do that right now. Like, look, I have this case with Auden that I'm trying to, he's going around burning villages and stuff, so, like, you know, we need to put a stop to him. That's our first priority. You rise from your chair, ready to answer the advisor. You cannot fulfill his order until you have legal grounds for arresting and executing these people. You serve the law and you will never break it, no matter what you stand to gain. You will not falsify a case, and you will not hang people on unproven charges. You are willing to investigate the people from the advisor's list thoroughly and punish the guilty, but only if you find proof that they are involved in the insurgency. Baron Alfaro winces in displeasure at these words. Brent, can't you see we're not dealing with ordinary outlaws here? We're fighting an insurgency that has declared war on the Empire. There's no time for the usual formalities. You have to understand that. Thanks to your indecisiveness, those insurgents will roam free and fashion new bombs for more attacks. But you insist. You will not send anyone to the gallows without evidence. Either you do things your way, or the aristocracy will soon be talking about abuse of power at the hands of the secret chancellery. You will see to that. For a while, Felipe considers your words. Very well, Brant. Have it your way. Begin your investigation. But if another bomb goes off in Anazote in the meantime, it will be on your head. And then a promising servant to the Empire will stand trial along with the insurgents as their accomplice. I have a handful of good friends as well, Sir Judge. Felipe leaves without saying goodbye. Yeah, see ya. And so you begin a lengthy investigation. This was your idea, which means you have to pay the gendarmes and informants out of your own pocket. The gendarmes in your employ tail every man and woman from the list for the next fortnight. For a long while, none of your suspects does anything suspicious. Over the course of these 2 weeks, you come to bitterly regret getting involved in this business, but Felipe left you with no choice. You will either find the truth or get tried along with the insurgents. Baron Alfaro did not look like a man who made empty threats. Disappointed with this fruitless surveillance, you are about to call it off when one of the commoners suddenly signals to the others to meet. Your raid catches them by surprise in an abandoned house on the edge of the city. Much to your chagrin, the secret chancellery was right. You arrest them just as they are plotting another attack. A map of the city hall on the table. A stockpile of weapons and bombs are found in the house. The litigation is quick. You have all the evidence you need against the insurgents. Every one of them is sentenced to death by hanging. Another last straw cell is no more. Their bodies now dangle in the wind by the still rotting rebels who tried to kill the magistrate. Sorry, Sophia. Didn't mean to kill people in your group, but, look, I have other things I need to do. I'm a criminal mastermind, yes. Too bad I'm a judge. Ooh, the lesser evil, consequence of my actions. So this is how a plot with Gloria's turning out. A year has passed since the day Gloria asked for your protection. You have brought up her lowly position several times in conversation with Father, but every time his face darkens and he asks you to stop. You can feel Stephen's influence behind these refusals. Your only option is to wait for something to change. Look, Our family reputation is already 0. Right? We're already at 0. Look, we already had that little scene where we're disgraced and we're irredeemable. Come on, like, just adopt her. At least let her feel better, you know? Your only option is wait for something to change. Meanwhile, emotions are running high in the family. Gloria disappears for days at a time. She is often seen in the company of young citizens of low estate. Father constantly lectures Gloria, telling her that her friends are libertines and troublemakers, and connections like these will be her downfall. Your sister obediently lends an ear to his speeches, then vanishes again. You are relaxing in the bath after a long day when you suddenly hear rapid footsteps in the hallway and Stephen's angry voice. The door to the bathroom bursts open. Sir, get dressed. We're waiting for you in the sitting room. It's urgent. Perplexed, you get out of the tub and make yourself presentable. Father and Stephen are waiting for you in the sitting room. Gloria is huddled in a chair in the corner. Your elder brother swiftly locks the door behind you. This bodes ill. Sir, I was on my way to a ball at the Laberius mansion. I was already on their doorstep when an old servant told me that he had been ordered to turn me away. They will not have anything to do with a family whose offspring is a member of a secret society. Father, sir, whom do you suppose they meant? Gloria looks at Stephen defiantly, her lips pursed tightly. This is the last straw. Oh, is she in the last straw? You will make pariahs of us all, Gloria. I will not allow you to ruin everything Sir Gregor worked for. Oh god, we hate Sir Gregor. Stephen is nearly screaming, but then he pulls himself together and continues in a more composed manner. I'm afraid Lady Gloria cannot remain in this house. But, being honorable people, we must provide for her future. Sir Jose L. Pelletier is willing to take her as his lawful wife. Gloria, you will be accepted into a household of nobles of the sword. I have been negotiating with your suitor for quite some time. Who gave you the right to decide my fate behind my back? You aren't even the head of this family. Gloria, you must abide by the decisions of your elders. This family has done so much for you already. Now I'm going to provide you with a good match. But you're acting like a spoiled child. You will be a nobleman's wife, you fool. You'll be able to write your poems. You'll want for nothing. You'll be able to enjoy your life. Sir Ella Pelletier has been hounding me for a year now. I can't believe he's in love with me. A lowly common girl. Sure, he's easy on the eyes. He's a skilled warrior and a respected nobleman, but he needs a wife to give birth to his heirs. Follow him around obediently at social gatherings and praise his chivalry. Can't you see that I don't belong in his family? Not stuff and nonsense. Easy on the eyes. Yeah, I mean, at least she does find him attractive. Like, I felt bad, like, trying to force the marriage. That's why Stephen asked for us to help arrange this marriage, and I was like, I don't want to force it on her. But, I mean, she seems to like him well enough. She just doesn't want to be his wife. But, like, you know, if I had known that, maybe I would have considered it. Probably still not, you know, but still. Anyway, stuff and nonsense. Father, here's the letter to the El Pelletiers. Sign it as the head of the family. We should invite our future relatives to our house and introduce ourselves to Gloria's future husband and her parents. I hope that Sir will do his part as well. Father reluctantly skims the letter and frowns. Stephen, why have you never spoken to me about such a matter of such importance? No match can be made without my consent. Have I announced my wish for Gloria to be married? Father, she leaves us with no choice. You know that we cannot make Gloria a Brante, but our family reputation still suffers because of her rebellious ways. Don't you see that this marriage will benefit everyone? Gloria springs to her feet, choking with rage. You'd do anything to prevent me from joining this family. This marriage will bring nothing but sorrow to me and Sir L. Pelletier. All you ever think about is your own interests. Ingrate, I am looking out for you, and this is how you repay me? Or would you prefer to be cast out for your disgraceful antics? Father, please sign the letter and free us from this debacle once and for all. Gloria rushes toward you in desperation and clasps your hand. Brother, please! You promised you'd never let them kick me out. Ooh, okay. Push pressure on Father. Our unity goes down a lot. But Gloria stays at home. We have bad blow with Stephen. We can say nothing. And Gloria gets married. And it does us no good because it's willpower, and we already have 30. Okay. Ooh. I was like, oh, we don't die in this one, but we have duel impending with Stephen. Oh, I don't want him to kill us. And we can threaten him. Which is the same thing as put pressure on father. Except we don't lose favor with father. Oof. Oof. We'll challenge Steven to a duel. Not gonna go well. I really should. I mean, we're also prosecuting Auden for the duel. I kind of regret this now that I think about it. I kind of regret it. Because this isn't gonna help our case with Auden at all. Oh man. Okay. Maybe we can weasel our way out of the duel somehow. I am a criminal mastermind after all. You take a step towards Steven, shielding Gloria from him, and look your adversary right in the eye. Steven has no authority to decide Gloria's fate as though she were his property. You will not let anyone order your sister around. She should have become a Brante long ago. I hold myself responsible for our family's good name. But you, sir, you wormed your way into the nobility. But you have no idea what nobility means. You are living proof that noblemen are born, not made. Dude. First off, Born doesn't have an E at the end, unless you're talking about Sir Elborn. Secondly, our family, like, no one but the Arknians is purely born into nobility. You know? Like, because didn't Gregor earn that? Like, Father intervenes vehemently. Sir is right, Steven. You've gone too far. This isn't nobility, it's obsession. It's time you remembered I'm the head of this household. You are not Gregor Brante, and you will never be. He takes the letter to the groom's family and tears it to shreds. Steven's face grows crimson. He can barely contain his rage. If you cannot keep the family in check and defend our honor, father, then I will have to do it myself. Oof. Yeah, Steven, that's the thing, is like, yeah, exactly. Our father's on the right track here. Like, it is really rude for Steve. Like, Steven's been doing a lot lately, and he's been pushing father around a ton. He's like, oh, we have to do this. We can't let Gloria do this. We have to do this. Sir can't do this. Like, he's dictating the whole family. He's like, I know what it means to be noble. Father has no idea. He's been acting like that for a long time, since, like, a child. And he needs to respect his father, because if, like, nobility, blah, 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 how does he think he got his nobility? Gregor is not his dad. He did not inherit the nobility from Gregor, or the right to become a ennobled from Gregor. He earned it from Robert, and he should have more respect for Robert. And he doesn't. And it's like, okay, well then you don't have any respect for any rights that you have, that you love so much. Stephen's words send you into a long, vehement speech. How dare he? Father has dedicated his entire life to this family. Only he knows what is best for it. You're right, sir. My fear of your grandfather was too strong. But those days are over. Gloria is Lydia's daughter, the daughter of my wife. And she is my daughter as well. Gloria is shaking now. She cannot believe her ears. Father, what are you saying? Come to your senses. Your dishonor will ruin our entire family. Father does not dignify Stephen's words with a response. His eyes are fixed solely on Gloria. Dishonor does not frighten me. Gossip does not frighten me. Come to me, my daughter, Gloria Brante. Gloria falls on her adopted father's shoulder, racked by silent tears. Father. You join their embrace. Gloria squeezes your hand with hers, your sister's eyes glimmering with joy and gratitude. Furious, Stephen tears you away from one another. Ooh, the page is torn. That's definitely kind of scary. Haven't seen a torn page yet. No, as long as I live, this will never be. Stephen has left you no choice. Gloria is a Brante now, and you will protect her by any means necessary. If your brother will listen to words, then your blades will do the talking. You challenge your elder brother to a duel. Father and Gloria are speechless. Even Stephen is stunned at first, but quickly regains his composure. Sir Brante, I accept your challenge. We shall duel to the true death. Oh, yikes. Father intervenes. His shock gives way to fury. This is madness. My sons fighting to the death? Never. Stephen moves away from father, cold and indifferent. The honor of our family is at stake. I see no one willing to relent. Why continue this dispute? We must settle this once and for all. I forbid it, as your father and as a prefecture judge. Calm yourself, father. My honor is mine alone. You have no claim to it. Brother, we shall duel tomorrow at sunrise, in the barren field by the city wall. Be ready. With a sharp turn, Stephen strides out of the room, perfectly composed. Father grows pale. He collapses into an armchair and buries his face in his arms. Gloria rushes to your side. Sir, what have you done? I asked you to protect me. I didn't ask for this. You're fools, both of you. Can't you resolve this without spilling blood and taking lives? You shake your head slowly. Not in this case, you can't. It is time to prepare for the duel. Only one of you is coming back. Ooh, we have to kill Stephen. Yep, sir. Duel impending. We gotta kill you. I'm sorry. Well, we can't die. We gotta kill Stephen. Oh no. I gotta take a drink. Oh no. To the death. It is early in the morning and dreadfully windy. In a barren field by the city wall, two lonely figures approach one another. You and Stephen face each other, swords at the ready. Stephen glares at you. There is sadness in his eyes. Quite the twist of fate. It seems I have learned to fence only to fight my own little brother. Heh. Remember how you hit me with hard with a stick when we were boys, and your mother scolded you for brandishing a weapon? Who knew it was all leading to this? You regret what is about to happen. You reply, but this is the only way your conflict can be resolved. Stephen nods gloomily. Childhood memories cloud your faces. Playing, fighting, pretending defense. It takes you both an effort to remain in the present. The cloaks come off. Ceremonious bows are exchanged. You can both sense the shades of your Brante ancestors watching you. A sacred ritual is underway. For noblemen, there is no higher judgment. Your duel to the true death begins. Okay, can't we just, kill him once and, have it not? Yeah, I'm gonna destroy him. Hopefully. I don't know. We're not, we're a judge, and scheming is our highest trait. I don't know if we can do this, but, I just want to kill him once and then have pity on him, have mercy. Your elder brother wastes no time in opening with a flurry of strikes. Sand in his eyes. I mean, maybe I can use my scheming to my benefit here. His skill and mastery is truly commendable. I have to channel my little tin soldiers. I haven't. That was way back when nobility was one of the traits that we had, I think, and I liked my little tin soldiers. I gotta remember. I gotta channel them. I can do it. And the fort, I defended with Thomas. I have to remember. His skill and mastery is truly commendable. You dodge, parry, and block, but Stephen keeps driving you back. The morning air is cool, yet your dress shirt is already soaked with sweat. The tip of his blade slashes and weaves through the air, almost invisible to the eye. Stephen is wearing you down. You cannot last long like this. Sweat is streaming down your forehead now. Your tired muscles ache and seize. Your brother's first blow lands, a glancing cut, a blood-red line on your sleeve. You grit your teeth. He gets first blood. See, it's not looking good. You begin studying swordplay too late, brother. You have only been defending so far, but now you notice that Stephen is growing exhausted himself. When the time is right, you go on the counterattack. And now you are the one showering him with a flurry of blows. Your elder brother is stepping back, surprised by your onslaught. A jab, another. You take another swing with your trusty blade. Ha! Stephen deflects your blow with an artful feint and moves swiftly to the side. Your foe is on your left now. You are defenseless. Hold on, I need a drink. Stephen's blade rises. You have but one moment to act before he does. Your life and your brother's are hanging by a thread. Okay, we could just perish. Honestly, that's a mood. Deaths +4? We already have 2! How can you even have 6 deaths? So many deaths! Oh my god, we're not doing that one. That's the end of everything. Oh, if we parried? Oh, we can actually... Oh, all of them end with Stephen dying. Oh no. Okay, but let's see what our options are. So we can't do this one, right? Because Valor, I was really worried about that. You have to have Valor over 8. I was like, we have 15. That's pretty good. But you have to have 18 or higher. That's really high. Our 10 soldiers aren't helping us with that. What is overcome death? Oh, okay. This is if you have a Valor over 15 or higher, but not enough to parry. Interesting, interesting. Our family unity is down. I become the heir. I get 1 more Valor. But I lose 20 willpower? Oh my god. That's a lot of willpower. Or we can resort to dirty tricks. This one is obviously the better option. It's like the same thing. But doesn't cost us quite as much willpower. And we even get +1 scheming, even though we already have maxed out our scheming. Okay, we're gonna do this one. Man, that's so easy. That's only 12 scheming. And a 2 or higher with Steven, and we have a 3. This is such an easy one. Okay, and just like you said, throw sand in his eyes. We're gonna do this. Okay. Dirty tricks. Let's do it. An unexpected thought pierces your mind. You could never best your brother in a fair fight. If you want, I don't know what overcome death really means. I wish I kind of read I didn't read the description for that. Or maybe I'll also go back to the VOD and read it. Because what do they even mean by overcome death? Just like, don't die? What does that mean? An unexpected thought pierces your mind. You could never best your brother in a fair fight. If you want to be the one left standing, you need to resort to trickery. You fall to the ground. The tip of Stephen's blade slices through the air above you. Stephen lowers his sword and steps closer. What foolishness is this, sir? Stand up and fight. Stephen is waiting for you to get back up. His defense is completely lowered. It's now or never. You begin to rise, then immediately stab him from below. The blow hits home. Your sword runs through your brother's chest. Stephen staggers backward, a look of surprise on his face. A strange gurgling noise comes out of his throat as he falls to his knees. His eyes grow dim. The tiniest red dot blots his dress shirt. Stephen's lips move. His voice is less than a whisper. A vile trick. You know nothing of honor. You're no brother of mine. Disgust contorts his lips as his face loses all color. Man, an annoying jerk to the end. You keep, to be fair, we did kill him, so. You keep listening, but there are no more words now, only his breathing, weak and hoarse. Stephen falls prone on the cold, hard ground, coughing up blood, convulsing, shaking. Then at last he grows still. Stephen Brante, your elder brother, has died his true death by your hand. Ooh. I didn't realize that was the last life. You take Stephen's lifeless body home. He will rest in the family crypt now. Stephen's soul will join your family's blood tide, an unseen specter watching over you all. Yeah, he can join Gregor, his best friend. No, 2 ghosts to haunt us. Perfect. The home is quiet. Silence rings in your ears. Father awaits you at the door, his face a frozen mask of grief and pain. So you are the one who has returned. I have no words, sir. A long moment passes before Father speaks again. If only I knew your quarrel would cost me one of my sons. Oh, I should have had you arrested for an attempted duel. But Stephen would never have allowed that. Twins, damn it. You would have arrested me? Dude! What, you like Stephen more than me? Is that it? Dude, dude's been a jerk the whole time. Yeah, lost a son and gained a daughter. It worked out. Like, dude, we needed to get rid of Stephen. Stephen was gonna be a problem, okay? You gotta realize. Father collapses in an armchair, hiding his face in his hands. It takes some time before he has enough strength to speak again. But there is nothing that can be done now. The judgment of noble honor has been rendered. We must accept this loss. I have lost my firstborn son, my heir. I'm the heir now. It's fine, you still have one. Very well, sir. You are now the family's eldest son and the heir of the Brante family. Remember this. You are now responsible for the fate of our family, or what is left of it. Dude. Stephen was destroying our family. Okay? Like, he was helping our family name, but the family itself was falling apart. You have to see that. You withdrew to your room, washed the blood off your you withdraw to your room, washed the blood off your shoulder, and collapsed onto the bed. You are overwhelmed by memories. You remember your brother leading you by the hand through the yard. You remember sitting at the big table on the porch, poking each other in the arm. You drink. You remember marching through the streets of Anazo at night looking for Gloria. You remember Stephen embracing you tightly when you returned from the capital. You remember the one time you true death killed him. Yup. Yup, exactly. I mean, we really should remember all the bad times. That would make us feel better. Remember the times he, like, made me and Gloria be, like, a servant? Remember that? that was awful. Soon you see Stephen for the last time at his funeral. Your elder brother's body is now gone forever, reposing in the depths of the crypt. I mean, that's not really gone forever. It's just in the crypt. Did he reach the peak of the shining pillar? Or was he doomed to suffer at the foot for all eternity? Your family is quiet. They will not meet your eyes. Look, had to be done. We're still at peace. So it's fine. And I'm the heir. Wow. We're a dangerous enemy. We have a lot of valor. Excellent. And we lost a little bit of willpower. We still have enough left. But man, that was a 20 willpower option, though. Makes me a little nervous for what's to come. Stephen's demise. Stephen died by your hand in a duel. I did not expect. Another foe enjoyed it a little. I did not really enjoy it, actually. I really would have loved to spare him. But there's just no way to do it. Alright. Year 1144, the Archduke relents. After many years of simmering, unceasing hostilities between Overseer Gaius Tempest and Archduke Melanidas have finally come to an end. The Archduke has abandoned all attempts to collect additional taxes from the people. I forget his voice, so I'm just gonna read it like normal. But my grace, I hereby release the common people of Magra from the Archduke's tax. All hail the dynasty of Melanidas, which has protected you since time immemorial. The farmers and merchants can finally heave a sigh of relief. Unexpectedly, the Archduke soon withdrew from all provincial affairs, sequestering himself in his ancestral state of Serpenverda. The gentry who remain loyal to the Archduke are baffled. Has he accepted defeat at the hands of the Overseer, or is this just an elaborate ruse? Yeah, I'm suspicious. Either way, with the Archduke out of the picture, the senior gentry of Magra have lost some of their influence to the Overseer and his retinue of budding dynasties and nobles of the mantle. The feud between the two Archnia rulers has ended, but the noble estate has been split nonetheless. The common people see this as yet another reason to demand change. Okay, we're back to the middle here. Wealth of Magra has gone up. It's all good things. 7th year of service. After another year of service as a judge is behind you, but you have no time to celebrate. Your days are filled with unremarkable litigation and similar-looking complaints. Again and again, you see poorly written complaint forms. They claim that noble landowners are extorting money, punishing commoners for nothing, doing whatever they please. You have noticed a change in tone from pleading to desperate to quietly furious. The low-born lot is to suffer, but how much longer can they endure? Every day, once the petty litigation has been dealt with, you return to Auden's case, again and again. For 2 years now, you search for a way to do the unthinkable, to have an Archnian and the High Commander at that convicted for his crimes. You have not heard from Auden since your encounter at the City Hall, but he likely has spies among the judges and gendarmes. Sooner or later, he will realize the true state of your progress and find a way to get rid of this case, and you, unless you are prepared to strike the first blow. But what should you do? Will you speak against Auden in public and summon him to a trial? Is there any way to deal with the High Commander? Or is there any other way to deal with the High Commander? Either way, now is not the time. And so you wait and prepare. Okay. Alright. And this is where I'm going to end it for today, because my voice is, like, barely hanging on. And, actually it's a little bit better right now, but it'll probably get worse here in a bit. So, don't want to strain my voice too much. But yeah, a lot happened in the time, the couple, like, years we went through. We went through 2 years today. So next time we play this, we'll probably go through 2 years again, and they'll probably take us to the end of the peacetime. Yeah, it sure was peaceful. And then on to the, like, rebellion or whatever, at the revolt or whatever happens at the end of our life, which is kind of yikes. But but yeah, so um yeah, a lot happened, kind of crazy. Um but yes, okay, so that's all for today. I'll be back on Tuesday. But oh, and I posted on Twitter a kind of crazy, kind of awesome. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Makes me kind of uncomfortable. Made a lot of scary decisions. Um, but I really feel bad that I killed Steven. I really wish there was a way out of it, but there really just wasn't. Um, unless we made Gloria marry that guy. And like, if it comes to forcing Gloria into a marriage versus killing Steven, I'm gonna kill Steven. Like, if he weren't a jerk, maybe, but like, I'm not gonna force Gloria into a marriage. Not doing it. Um, Anyway, I did have like a little schedule. I made like a proper like vtuber looking stream schedule that I posted on. He killed himself by defying me. That's true. That's true. He should have just not been a jerk. That would have been the smart move on his part. But yeah, so I made a stream schedule for the week. Like all the VTubers do, because I was kind of bored and felt like trying it out. So I posted that on Twitter. And so on Tuesday, I made a little bingo. So I will post, on Tuesday. I've been doing little old newspapers again. We're gonna go back to the old newspapers, and I have a little bingo cards now for those. So we'll do like everyone in stream can do their own bingo card if they want, but we'll do one for the stream. I'll fill one out on stream, and we'll see if we can get bingos. And I don't know how well it'll work because like I don't have a lot of ideas for things to put on it yet. I have a bunch, but like I would like more. So we'll see. I'll maybe get more ideas for some more squares to put on it in future. After Tuesday. But yeah, so Tuesday is gonna be old newspaper bingo. And it'll probably be a little bit on my schedule. I said stream start at 8. But it'll probably be a little bit earlier than 8. Because I want to get it in before like all the fireworks and stuff start. Because that could potentially be like kind of noisy and stuff, so I don't really want to deal with that. So probably a little bit earlier. And that's why I'm also doing newspaper stream on Tuesday as like a one-off, because I know it's 4th of July, so people might be like doing stuff. And so instead of continuing one of these like story-driven games, it kind of makes more sense to do a one-off type of thing. And also kind of like to test out the bingo to see how it goes. So but yes, that's what I'm doing Tuesday, probably around like 7:30 or so. And then Thursday is Paranormicite, some more of that. And then Saturday, probably going back to some Phasmophobia for a little bit, actually. So yeah, so that's the plan for the week. So this may be next Sunday or so. I don't really know when I'll be playing this again, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know if we'll do the same order type of thing. Probably this next Sunday, because it would have been like a whole week since we played it. So, yeah, we'll come back to this next Sunday and continue on. I feel there's so many more streams left in this. It's crazy. Honestly, I could have just ended it right there. I could have just been like, you know what? Yep, I give up. We'll just die. I could have just ended the game right there and then. But that's giving up, and giving up is for losers unless you are doing it wisely. But yeah, so okay. So yeah, so that's it. For today. Hopefully you have a good night, good next couple days until I'm back. Put that bumper sticker. I mean, just wise words. That's all, that's all I'm here to do is dish out the wisdom of the ages, you see. Um but yeah, so okay, so with that, our philosophical statement to leave us to ponder on. I am gonna end it here. Have a good couple days, a good night. Thanks for hanging out and chatting. and everything. People who chatted, people who lurked, followed, all that stuff. I appreciate it. And I'll be back on Tuesday, and I'll post on Twitter. I will post the link to the bingo cards. I'll post that on Tuesday. And then I'll also post it in chat, like once we get started and stuff. But that'll be fun. Hopefully, we'll see. And yeah. All right. So have a good couple days until then. Goodbye.